Hey everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. We are going to be working with the Teen Spirit Boy collection from Echo Park. It includes 12 pattern papers, 2 of each design, and a 12 by 12 sticker sheet. We are also going to be adding on 5 sheets of cardstock. All of them are from Basil. They are 1 sheet of Pineapple Bliss, this yellow color. This light bluish color is called Ocean Breeze from Basil as well, and then the last 2 colors are Moody Blue, which is like a dark and navy style blue. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make 4 pages today. We're going to be doing 2 double page layouts. It's always easier to make double page layouts when you have 2 each of every paper. And today this piece right here from the 4x4 journaling cards, I really want to utilize both of these pieces. So I'm going to save those 2 sheets and I'll explain that why once we're making the pages. So now here, for this tutorial, we need 3 accent papers and 4 background papers. I really like this plaid one. It brings together a pop of orange, kind of a reddish orange. I also love this paper because it has that same color as well, and it stands out against any of my potential background papers. So those are my the two accents I picked right off the hop, and now I need one more accent paper, and I need my 4 background pages. Now I really like both sides of this paper. I think they both could work for a background potentially, so I'm going to save these 2 and put these off to the side as a background for one of my sets of pages. And now I need 1 more accent paper and then 2 more backgrounds. So I'm kind of just looking through this banner paper, this paper with the little banners here. It's kind of too busy. I really don't think it's going to stand out on my backgrounds as nicely, so I'm going to go ahead and pick this darker background with the hands on them as my second set of background pages. Now I am going to lose the ability to use those 4x4 journaling cards, but that's okay. I still have more journaling cards I have to choose from in this pack. So now we've got to go ahead and pick out my 3rd accent paper. We've already used those 2. I really think that this banner one is just too busy. So we're going to go ahead and use this denim background one that has these buttons or circles on them. And that's going to be our 3rd accent. I think it'll coordinate well, bring out some of the blues in that plaid paper, and it'll still stand out on top of the background papers that we had chosen. We have cutting diagrams in my tutorial videos, and I just kind of want to let you know how to read them. So there's the number in top in inches, and that's going to be the size that we're going to cut that cut piece into. And there's a number below it in a circle. So a lot of the times we're making 4 pages or 6 pages when we're using these cutting diagrams, and all these cut pieces can sort of get very disorganized. So that number inside of the circle there represents a pile that you're going to put that cut piece into. So for a 4-page tutorial, we're going to make 4 piles. And for a 6-page tutorial, we're going to make 6 piles. So the numbers are going to be either 1 through 4 or 1 through 6. So page 1 is going to have all the cut pieces that have a circle with the number 1 inside. And so on for the 4 or 6 pages. Now we are going to take 4 out of the 5 pieces of our cardstock, and we are going to cut 1 inch in, 1 inch from the top, and 1 inch from the bottom. And we're going to make a straight line on all 4 sides of each of these pieces of cardstock. What we're basically doing is cutting a 10 by 10 inch square out of the center of this piece of cardstock. The border is going to be put into our pile, and the center, the 10 by 10 inch center, is going to be put to the side, and we're going to be cutting it with another cutting diagram as soon as we're done cutting out all of these squares. Okay, so for our background papers, we are going to be cutting off 0.25 inches on one side and 0.5 inches off on the other side. The reason why we're offsetting it is because we want the insides of our double layouts to be touching the edges so that they look like they're connected. When your paper goes through the cutter in the same direction that it would be on your layout, that's the side that you want to cut 0.25 inches off on. So when your page is sideways through the cutter, you actually want to cut 0.5 inches off on that side. Okay. Okay, so for our page number 3 and 4, I'm not sure if you noticed in the cutting guide phase, but I actually cut my pages wrong. So these two sheets here are supposed to be 6 inches by 9 inches. I actually cut them 5 inches by 9 inches. So my papers, my orangey red accent paper there, is actually going to be 1 inch shorter than it should be when you're making your pages. If you do like the way that my pages ended up looking, you can trim those down to 5 inches by 9 inches instead of the 6 by 9 inches like they're supposed to be. I did not change the cutting guide. I left it at 6 by 9 because I mean, if I would have done it correctly, it would be 6 by 9. And it doesn't change the layout of these pages all that much. It'll look a little bit different. So my recommendation to you is to leave it at the 6 by 9 inches. But I mean, if you like my pages better, you can certainly change them down to 5 by 9 inches. Okay, so before we get started embellishing our pages here, all we have is a 12 by 12 sticker sheet. I didn't buy any extra accessories. Actually, I'm not even sure if there is any other accessories. I didn't buy them anyways. So this is going to be using a minimum amount of product. So just that 12 by 12 sticker sheet, and I'm going to try and utilize these journaling cards that came with the paper pack as much as I can. So I'm just kind of cutting up what I think I might use and putting the rest to the side. Now, there are these 4x6 journaling cards, these white ones that say, "So that happened" on them. And I knew that I wanted to save these, but I wanted them to be a 3x4 inch size, not a 4x6. So what I did is I cut them so that the journaling lines go right to each edge, and I made them a 3x4 inch size. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by using that journaling card I had cut out, and I decided that I wanted to put it in one of my 3x3 photo areas. So I'm gonna trim this down again to a 3x3 inch size. So I took a little bit off the top and a little bit off the bottom, and I'm just gonna put it in place of, I'm gonna pop it up and put it in place here of one of my photo areas. Now I had intended to also mat it with some of my spare cardstock that's left over, but in the end I just didn't figure it needed it. So this layout here, see, I had originally thought of making these pages individual pages, because to me this Teen Spirit paper pack can be, it could be used for generic type teenager stuff. And I intended to use it for random pictures. So once every month in my scrapbooking album, I have either one page or a layout set aside for randoms. So instead of my layout being in order by date, what I do is I set aside one page or however many pages I need for random pictures. So on this layout or page, there's going to be multiple photos, and they can be from different days of the month, and they're simply just random pictures. So they are going to be candid pictures, maybe pictures like if the kids are being goofy at the kitchen table, or maybe driving pictures, maybe they did something funny, or they're wearing a funny outfit or something in the vehicle, or some memorable moment in the vehicle. Or if I walk into my kid's room and they're, got headphones on and they're doing their homework, or if they're sitting on the couch, like reading a book, like I'll snap a picture. Now, those sort of things don't necessarily need, they're not like really a big production, right? Like it's not like you're gonna set aside like dedicated theming pages to those random moments. So I call those random moments just candid pictures, and I like to make a dedicated area of my album every month to those types of pictures, which are usually just iPhone pictures, or they're even like Snapchat pictures that I save from my kids' Snapchat accounts. And these pictures end up on what I call a random page. So these random pages have these kind of pictures and moments on them, and then instead of journaling the specific occasion, what I'll usually do is just put like a little journaling area with the date on the picture. That way I don't have to like tell a story every time we have a picture on a page. It's just simply the date, and it's simple, and that's it. And that's once a month I do those random pages. Now that's what I intended to do with the Teen Spirit collections, both the boy and girl. Now, and then I changed my mind once I opened it up and saw the sticker sheet. So this layout here, I changed my mind with this Teen Spirit. Instead of doing single layouts, I did double page layouts, because my first layout my first double page layout here, I wanted it to be about gaming. So my youngest son had a sleepover weekend with his cousin, and they gamed almost the whole time. Now, my kids are not huge gamers. Like, we have an Xbox and we have a Wii and we have things like that, but my kids will, do that. They'll spend an hour or two gaming, maybe once or twice a week. It's definitely a random thing for them to be gaming, so I don't have a lot of pictures that are gaming influenced. But this weekend really stuck out in my mind, so that's why I wanted to do a double page layout, because I have pictures of them hanging out on the couch and having a sleepover, and they pretty much gamed the whole time. So that was the inspiration for those layouts. Now this layout here, this could actually be 2 single pages, or you can make it a double page layout like I did. So the reason why, so I'm cutting down this 4x6 journaling card. So as you can see, it takes up a lot of space as a 4x6 area. I'm cutting mine down so they fit inside of a 3x5 photo area. The reason why I'm using 2 of these same journaling cards is because I have 2 sons. If I only had one, I would obviously only use one of these, but I love this journaling opportunity, and I decided that I'm going to do this double layout. One page is going to be for my one son, and the other page is going to be for my other son. So if you only have one son, or if this is not the direction you want this page to go, you could easily eliminate those journaling boxes that I had put in there. So here I'm just going to finish off the theming of these pages based on my son's interests. So one page is going to look maybe a little bit different than the other, but they're still going to coordinate well with each other. So if you decided that you did want to do these as 2 single page layouts, maybe you want to put them at different places in your album, or maybe you don't want this to be the theming of your page at all, and you just want to use 2 separate pages, what I would recommend is just kind of disassemble your page, or if you've watched this whole video through, right from the beginning, just take that extra 0.25 inches off on your background paper, and so that your pages are not touching in the middle, and then you could easily just use these as single page layouts if you wanted to. Okay, so yeah, I'm just finishing off my pages here by creating some clusters, and I'm doing pretty much the same thing that I do in most of my videos. I'm just utilizing different heights on the page. So that journaling area that says "so that happened," that's actually popped up, and then I put that fidget spinner directly to that journaling area, and I popped up that "nailed it" area. And then what I did is I popped up the top of that basketball, but not the bottom, so that the bottom tucked in underneath that "nailed it" little embellishment there. And this 3x4 journaling card, I cut it down and says "you are so cool," and I directly adhered that to the paper behind that black hand, which is actually popped up. This collection has a lot of different theming elements, from music to sports to gaming. I would love to see your version of these pages. So if you do artwork with any of my cutting guides, I would love to see it. Just hashtag Simple Cut Creations on Instagram, or even shoot me an email with some pictures of some of your work. It always inspires me when I hear you guys talk about how many pages you've done, or when you guys mention that, I've helped you guys to get some scrapbooking in. So I would love to see some of your pages, and I'm so glad that you guys have been watching, and thank you so much for supporting my page and giving me feedback. If there is any suggestions on upcoming paper packs you'd like to see, leave some ideas in the comments below. I would love to know what paper packs you'd love to see. I'm sure I can find some pictures to work with some paper packs that you guys might want to see. So yeah, I look forward to hearing from you guys. We will see you next Friday with a new tutorial. Thank you so much for watching.